If I can have your attention here in the Media Center, we will continue on with today's media availability before the Brantley Gilbert Big Machine Brickyard 400 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We have quite a panel assembled this morning. Big week in our sport with the new driver, the 88 Nationwide Chevrolet, introduced for next year. So let's start introducing our panel. On the far right, we have Jim McCoy, the Director of Sports Marketing at Nationwide. We have NASCAR Hall of Famer Rick Hendrick, who's a 12-time champion in NASCAR and owner of Hendrick Motorsports. We have Alex Bowman, the driver of the number 88 Nationwide Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports in 2018. And then Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's driving the number 88 Nationwide Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports in 2017 and in today's Brickyard 400. Alex, let's start with you. What's the response been like over the last few days since the news have come out? Fans, friends, family, anything really stands out to you about this week?
Yeah, it's been a complete dream come true. A little bit overwhelming, but just so thankful and appreciative for the opportunity for Nationwide and Exalta to support me, and Dale for everything he's done. But a lot of really cool stuff happened this week. I was able to kind of share everything on Thursday with my dad. He was at the shop with us, and I grew up in a body shop. He owns a small body shop back home in Tucson, and so I got to take him through the Exalta Center, which was really cool because, that's his world. I literally couldn't get him to leave, so that was it was really cool to show him all that stuff. And then when I got to call my grandmother, that was really cool. She's probably my biggest supporter, and she was thrilled to death. So it's just been amazing. It's a dream come true. Hendrick Motorsports is always where I've wanted to be, and to make it here, it's like I said, it's just a dream come true.
Outstanding. Jim, how does Nationwide feel about this contract extension with Hendrick Motorsports and with having Alex in the 88 car next year?
Really excited to continue the partnership with Hendrick Motorsports. Since we signed the deal in September of 2014, they've just been a first-class partner to really help us get as much value as we can both on and off the racetrack. And with the opportunity with Dale's retirement, created a new chance for us to take the relationship to a new place with Alex. He's a young, talented driver that we have history with back in the Nationwide Series days, and obviously what he did last fall in the car was amazing in a very tough circumstances. So he's really earned everything that he's gotten, and we're really excited to get to work next year to really kick off the relationship in a big way in Daytona.
Mr. Hendrick, you've had legends drive your car, either current NASCAR Hall of Famers, future NASCAR Hall of Famers. Why do you feel Alex was the right man for this job at the 88 car?
Well, when we called on Alex when Dale got hurt, to be honest with you, I didn't know a lot about Alex. I was going off of Dale's recommendation. And then when he got in the car and the way he performed and the feedback that he had with all of the teammates and the crew chiefs, and they were just super excited about how he performed. And then his relationship with the sponsors through that period, and really the fit factor. And I think the thing that really impressed me was he was so committed to our organization, and that he was willing to sign a deal just to do the wheel force car for GM or the simulator and wait for an opportunity. So I think the word is he's committed, talented, and he deserves the opportunity. So I'm super excited to have him in the car, and I just think he's going to do an awesome driver, fast, smart, committed. So I'm super excited about Alex.
Dale, you've long been a supporter of this guy to your right here. What did you see in Alex that made you think that he was going to be a perfect fit for this car?
Well, Alex, is I believe in his talent on the racetrack, but his commitment off the racetrack to work to further his career to me over the last several years has been really impressive. There's a lot of guys that have the talent and need that one critical break and If they stay committed and keep pushing and are willing to make the sacrifices, eventually that opportunity might come along, and Alex is a perfect example of that. And I think that he gets this opportunity because of his commitment to his own career and his gamble on himself that he made a long, long time ago. So he's really, you know, had to make some sacrifices, and you know, a great example of that would be this year, sort of sitting on the sidelines, so to speak. All the while he's been in the simulator pretty much every day. Simulator is a very, very boring work, but Alex is in there with a great attitude. I've been in there with him, and even throughout the season, he goes in there and works really hard, which is a key investment for Chevrolet, and it's incredibly helpful to our company as a race team. He's also drove the Wilforce car, which is not a lot of fun either, and it's very tedious work, and he's just really been a team player, knowing that if he you know, put forth this effort, he could possibly get this opportunity. So and this is, you know, something that's kind of been building for Alex for many years. We've tried and tried and tried to get more and more opportunities for him, because every time we could put him in the car, he produced, whether it was our Xfinity program at Junior Motorsports or last season when he subbed for me. He's always done an incredible job, and he just has, I think the first time I saw Alex's potential was at Phoenix in one of our Junior Motorsports cars. He stood out to me among everyone else on the racetrack as far as how smooth and how perfect his line was lap after lap. That's a very technical track where you can't overdrive the car, and he ran the car to its limit without overstepping that line lap after lap after lap, and he became so dependable lap after lap, and that's what I start to see in him even more as I watch him today. He's very dependable as far as his ability to go out there and run the line and get the speed out of the car. So I'm excited about his future next year. I'm going to be there with him and that team. That team means an incredible amount to me. We have so many folks on that team that I've got such strong relationships with, so I want to be a part of that going forward, and I want to be able to continue to help Alex in whatever way he needs. So I'm excited to see what he can accomplish next year. He's got an incredible group of guys around him. He knows that. He's got a great rapport with them. So it's a great match and a good fit. They all kind of know each other well, so they should be able to get off the ground pretty quickly next season.
Okay, we'll open the floor for questions. We'll start with Jim and then go to Bob.
Jim Mutter, Motorsports for Rick. Dale entered the season unsure of whether he was going to sign an extension and wanted some time to make that decision. When he did, and then it turned to what was the future of the 88 car, the process leading up to this week, was that a very complicated process for you? Did it go many different directions, or was Alex kind of involved from your decision-making process from the start?
Yeah, I think, of course, I was, you know, I didn't want to see Dale tell me that he was going to want to retire, but we had Alex in the back of our mind for whatever opportunity we had, and so it wasn't much of a decision at all. I mean, Alex was a guy.
Let's go to Bob.
Bob Hawker, CSPN. Rick, you said Alex signed a contract last year. Can you say how long that contract is, and can you also give us any update on the 5 car as far as sponsor or driver for next year?
He signed a deal last year, and it was a 3-year deal, so it would have been 16, 17, 18. That's another day.
Let's go to Dustin, then to John, then to Claire.
Dustin Long of NBC Sports. Jim, can you explain why a 1-year extension instead of a multi-year extension with the deal? And Rick, Obviously, there's a lot of talk about looking ahead, even beyond with this team. There's been a lot of questions raised about 4 cars or 3 cars for you next year. Are you still committed to 4 cars at this point?
Just on the 1-year extension, we approach all of our sponsorships in a pretty rigid measurement, how things are going. We've had a great success and strong ROI with what we've done with the Hendrick Motorsports, which is why we've been in renewal conversations since December, and pivoted obviously to Alex. So we evaluate all our sponsorships annually to see how we're doing, how we're measuring up, both on the racetrack and the success there, but also the bigger partnership that we have with Mr. Hendrick and his businesses from a business-to-business side. So we'll evaluate that and hope to continue the successes that we've built up to this point in time.
Okay. What was your other question?
Are you committed to 4 cars for next year? There's been a lot of questions if we get a 4-car operation, or if you look at cutting you temporarily to 3 cars for next year for sponsorship question.
Yeah, the plan is to run 4 cars next year.
And to clarify on the contract, it is for 17, 18, and 19. Let's go to John, and then go to Claire, then to Chris.
John Reyes and Reyes Broadcasting, Chicago. This question is for Rick, Alex, and Dale. We hear a lot about the young drivers, for a lack of a better word, young guns. As we lose people like you, we tend to be losing fans too. I think one of the good questions I have would be, what do a person like Alex or some of the other younger drivers bring to the table, bring to the track to attract fans as you guys have done? I mean, winning will do it, but what type of personality do they have, such as people like you, Jeff Gordon, and the people that we've recently lost and are about to lose?
Well, I can say that I have a lot of confidence in the youth drivers like Alex. Alex is, once you get to know him, he's pretty opinionated, got a great personality, prevalent on social media. That's going to be a key component for all the youth coming into the sport, is to be really interactive with the fans in all kinds of different platforms. Social media is a great area for that. It's obviously not everything, but social media is a great way to begin showcasing who you are. Winning does help, but I think what sells to the fans is being able to relate to individuals. You got to know Jeff Gordon. You either related with him somehow, or you related with someone else. You connect with these drivers on a personal level. The only way to really do that is for that driver to be able to expose himself and be open, be genuine. And so that's really key for these guys. I think the fact that they grew up in a world where social media was already around and a big component of everyday life is probably going to push NASCAR into the next level. A lot of guys my age, we sort of had to learn how to use social media, and obviously I was real apprehensive going into that, but I understand now what an incredible tool it is for interacting with the fans, and how much our industry really uses that and utilizes that. It's important for me to be a part of that. But these guys are already plugged in. They grew up in that environment. And so I just implore, Alex or any young guy to do everything he can to give fans an opportunity to get to know them off the track.
Alex, I'd say you're comfortable with social media and drawing in those younger fans.
Yeah, for sure. I had to teach Dale how to use GIFs correctly, so he gets his talent from me. But no, it's really cool, and that's a big part of what I was trying to get across earlier. I mean, I grew up, I'm a regular guy. I come from working in a body shop as a kid, doing prep work for my dad's paint shop. It's really cool to be working with Exalta because of that, and the relationship I've had with Nationwide since 2013. But I'm just a regular person, and kind of feel like we've done this the old school way a little bit. Came from driving lower budget cars and somehow I've been blessed enough to make it work. So follow me on social media. Obviously, I do the best job I can without getting in trouble, and we'll have a lot of fun.
Okay, let's go to Claire, then to Nate, Chris, then to Nate.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. I have a question for Rick and then one for Dale. Rick, the summary of all of the fans that I've heard on the radio on Sirius XM is they love Alex Bowman. They're happy in general, most of them, that you made that decision. But what stands out is the fans who say that dreams really can come true in the big business of NASCAR, that somehow there's a dream quality to this that, and I'd like you kind of to talk about that when making these big business decisions, that a kid like Alex Bowman can make it here still today in NASCAR.
You know, I think I go back to the very beginning with me. I thought that I was going to start with Richard Petty, and that was a dream come true for me, and the deal didn't happen. And I remember Jeff Bodine sitting outside, come into my office, and we talked, and I told him that I had a contract actually being offered to Tim Richmond, and I said, I'll know by 4 o'clock this afternoon. This was in the morning. He said, I'll just sit in the showroom and wait. And that made me want to give him the opportunity because he wanted it. And so I think about Alex like a Jimmy Johnson or Jeff Gordon, and I get excited about seeing the guys have an opportunity. Dale's done an unbelievable job with that, bringing guys along, and we've worked together with partners. And you know, I try to get input from all of our guys, but it's fun for me to see someone that's worked so hard. And I think the word for Alex is he deserved it. And I think that's what I've heard a lot of the fans say, you know, he deserves the shot. He stepped into the most pressure point. I don't think there'd be a situation on pit road that would have the pressure sitting in Dale Earnhardt's car with all the media around. And to perform like he did and sit on the pole in Phoenix and almost win the race. And then the contribution he's made to our company to help our guys. You know, he's gotten our guys to go to the simulator, guys like Dale and Jimmy. So you give him credit for that, Dale? Yeah, okay,
absolutely.
But what he's done, and again, Dale is an unbelievable eye for talent, and he told me that story that he told about Alex in the Xfinity car, and so it's exciting. It's exciting for me, and you know, when everybody in the company kind of agrees, from the crew chiefs to the drivers to the sponsors, then we put our shoulders together, and it's gonna work, and it's exciting for me.
And Dale, you faced tremendous pressure when you inherited your dad's fans. I wonder what advice that you would give Alex about the pressure he might feel inheriting your fans.
Well, the easiest thing to do really is be yourself and, you know, realize that you're not going to make everyone happy. You just have to, you know, believe in what you believe in and follow your gut on, you know, it's pretty simple really, to be honest with you. Just try not to let, you know, the doubters or people that aren't quite bought in or sold on what's going on really affect you personally and affect how you feel. He has to believe in himself like he has all these years. He's continued to bet on himself time and time again. And he just has to kind of keep going forward with that attitude. And once they get to know him or he starts to win races, everything else takes care of itself. You know, which I feel confident that he's going to have great success in the car. But until that time, just kind of keep your head to the grindstone, keep working.
We're going to go to Chris, to Nate, Jeff, and Jordan.
Chris Knight at Trends.com. Alex, I know you're busy with the responsibilities at Team Hendrick during the race week, but is there any chance you'll get actually into a race car before the end of the year to get into a rhythm?
You know, we've started talking about trying to get into an Xfinity car before the year's over, but you know, we've started talking. There's nothing set in stone, and it'd just be in the Xfinity series. So kind of have to wait and see. I'd love to get back in a race car. It's just got to be the right opportunity. Aside from that, I'm just very focused on being ready when we show up to Daytona in 2018, trying to get my fitness level up, trying to be the best race car driver I can be when I show up at Daytona for Speed Weeks.
Has Dale asked you to go bike riding with him?
Yeah, this guy made me wear this weird spandex stuff and ride a bike. It's a little bit different. I feel like I've gone from the Tony Stewart plan to the Jimmy Johnson plan in a hurry. It was a big 180 there. So, but it's been a lot of fun. He's still faster than me on the bike, which drives me crazy. So I'm working on it. But it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about the new Hendrick fitness program is that all the drivers are required to play along, even the simulator drivers.
Let's go with
I've
Nate.
been able to dodge that bullet.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Rick, when Alex signed this contract last October, was the decision effectively made then that if Dale didn't drive in 2018, he was going to be the driver? I mean, there are obviously some other options that came open recently, Matt Kenseth, some other veterans that might be out there. Were you committed to Alex pretty much from that point forward and didn't even consider a person like Kenseth when he was on the market?
When we didn't know what was going to happen, and we couldn't, and we were very, very careful not to guarantee him anything other than if opportunities arose that he would have a shot. And, I can't make all the decisions. The sponsors have to be involved. And, but, in my mind, Alex was going to get the next up. I love Matt Kenseth. I mean, he's a tremendous talent. But he and I have actually talked about this in the past. Sometimes things just don't line up at the right time.
We'll go to Jeff, then to Jordan, and then we'll finish up with Bruce and Caleb.
Jeff Gluck from jeffgluck.com. Alex, I'm curious about Nate's question from your perspective. Going along through this process, you're obviously very patient, but did you feel like in the back of your mind, like, oh yeah, I'm going to be able to get a ride if it opens up? Or were you just hoping that was the case? Did you have any sort of assurances?
No, I mean, there was nothing set in stone. It was a big leap of faith. I said no to a lot of solid opportunities that I really appreciated getting, but Hendrick Motorsports is where I've always wanted to be. I was a big Jeff Gordon fan as a kid. Driving for Hendrick Motorsports is what I've wanted to do my entire life. So to get the opportunity to stay this year in whatever capacity, I was very happy to take that. And I didn't know what was going to happen from there. I knew that given the right chances, I could go win races. But I didn't want to. Honestly, I didn't want to go back to running 35th every week. So kind of took a chance with it, and I'm very glad it all worked out. But it was very nerve-wracking at times, and like I said, I'm just so thankful to be able to represent great people like Nationwide and Exalta, everything Nationwide does for the community. We got to go to Columbus a couple weeks ago, and that was really cool to see everything that they do there and go to the Children's Hospital. I just can't thank people like that enough, because my life's been a whirlwind in the last year and a half or so. So it's just really cool to be sitting here in front of you guys today.
Jordan?
This question's for Rick. Jordan Bianchi, SB Nation. What's the plan for William Byron? Is there a scenario where he could be in one of your cars full-time next season?
Well, he's definitely going to be in. He's going to be in the Xfinity car. Okay. We're not ready to cross that bridge yet.
Go to Bruce, and then finish with Caleb.
Bruce Martin with Auto Week. This is for Dale and for Mr. H. You came into the sport relatively the same time as Tony Stewart, and you also came in with Matt Kenseth, and you formed a good core of three drivers that raced each other pretty hard. Do you see drivers such as Alex, William Byron in a couple of years, and already Kyle Larson is forming that group that's replacing the three that you had when you came up, and the three rookies, the three young guys when you showed up?
Absolutely. Larson's established. Fans are plugging into him, and getting really excited about, you know, what he's been able to accomplish in his future. You got Chase with the heritage and history. With a great team, HMS, he's going to be, you know, around for a very long time. I've talked about all these guys, Blaney and everybody else. They're all sort of trying to feel their way out and find their place in the, you know, kind of find their niche and where they belong in the sport and what they mean to the sport, how they can be an asset to the sport. So obviously Alex coming in his first season, he's going to be thinking about how do I establish myself and how do I create this opportunity and turn it into something very long term for me. So he's going to be really focused on that instead of everything else. I think he can start thinking about, you know, whether we were talking about him renting a motorhome or buying one. He needs, you know, he can think about all those things down the road once he feels confident in what he's been able to achieve and whether he feels like he's you know, got some roots here. And that's only up to him, you know, whether whenever he feels like he's established some roots. So we're wanting to give him, you know, as much support so he feels confident and he feels at ease when he's at the racetrack and feels like he can go out there and compete. But yeah, I think the young guy, there's a whole new generation coming in that's flooding the sport. It was, for so long, there was only like a guy or two coming in every year or every other year, but we got a bunch of guys coming in right now with a lot of talent, a lot of personality, and just a lot of potential for the sport to really maximize, you know, the exposure for these guys. They really need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. I mean, time goes by in a hurry. It just feels like it wasn't that long ago Jimmy Johnson or Jeff was sitting here or Chase. But there's a lot, as Dale said, tremendous amount of young talent. And the fans are already latching on to them. I'm you know, just seeing the guys come through our place with the T-shirts on that are already supporting some of these guys. So I think the sport's in excellent shape for years and years to come.
Caleb Whistler, Speedway Digest. Alex, life is about full circle moments. Has this opportunity closed that circle to give you one of life's full circle moments?
I don't know. I think maybe. I think more getting a win would kind of close things up for me. I feel like that would just make me feel better about things. I mean, and only because Phoenix is something that's bothered me probably every day since then, and there's probably not 5 minutes that go by that I don't think about that. So kind of want to get that monkey off my back a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's just it's been a roller coaster the last couple of years, and it's just incredible to me to end up where I'm at, and very thankful for it. But I think we need to win some races before I'd say it's full circle.
Jim, Mr. Hendrick, Alex, Dale, thanks for taking the time, and looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.